Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. We are hot and heavy in the midst of round two. Hope everybody's doing fine on this wonderful Friday morning. Maybe you're having your breakfast. Thank you for sharing your breakfast with me. Maybe you're sitting in the office. Maybe you're working later today and you're just getting up. Maybe it's the end of your day and you're watching as you're getting ready to go to bed. Whatever it might be, thanks for spending some time with us. We've got two great live albums from the old US of A, 1970, 1976, both from Michigan. From Flint, Michigan, we got Grand Funk Railroad live album. All right. Also from Michigan, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Live Bullet. Okay. Two really, really good ones. All right. Both live albums recorded and released at the time where each band was starting to really break big. Okay. In fact, both acts have some really good live albums. All right. Grand Funk's got like 3 of them that were released in the 70s. Okay. Bob Seger's got Live Bullet and 9 Tonight. Both are excellent. In fact, I don't think I need any other Bob Seger but those two. In fact, I think I have one of his more recent CDs, but I have those 2 live albums, and that's it. They have like so many great tracks on it. But let's start off with the one released first. Okay, live album from Grand Funk. Okay, of course, this the photograph on the front cover was taken from a rock festival and not actually from any of the shows recorded here. Mostly recorded in Florida. I believe the majority of the show was recorded at the Jacksonville Coliseum, June 23rd, 1970. Also, I think West Palm Beach Civic Auditorium, I think the day after. All right. And there might be a track or 2 recorded in Orlando Sports Center. But mostly taken around Florida. June of 1970, released to the universe November 16th, 1970. Of course, this is the original trio. All right. Original trio of Mark Farner on the guitar and the vocals. Okay. You got Mel Scatcher on bass and Don Brewer on drums and vocals. The original garage trio of doom. All right. Some great tunes on here. A lot of lengthy versions of some of their studio classics up to that point. Again, this is back in the day where a band would release a live album after having only maybe 2, 3 top studio albums. In some cases, even 1 studio album, right? So here, kicks off with Are You Ready? A great rousing rocker to kind of get everybody going. A really good kind of, I hate to keep using the term garage rock, but I mean, that's kind of what Grand Funk were. They were just like, they had plenty of melody and groove in their music, but they also could rock really hard. Their early tunes are very, very heavy. A very underrated band when you talk about kind of the early heavy bands of like the late 60s, early 70s. That moves into Paranoid, and no, not the Black Sabbath song. In fact, arguably, Grand Funk's is just as gripping. A little different. It's darker, it's heavy, it's menacing. Whereas Black Sabbath is short and sweet, catchy, you know. From there we go In Need, a great blistering bluesy rocker with lots of slashing Mark Farner lead guitar work. Over on side 2, Heartbreaker. Okay, great vocal harmonies from the band, more of a moody rocker. And then you've got the lengthy 12-minute plus Inside Looking Out. All right, an old Eric Burdon and the Animals, Chaz Chandler and company, an old Animals tune. In my opinion, the definitive version of this song on this album. All right, they did it on their second album, the Grand Funk album, the Red album. Okay, great studio version, but I think here on this live album, it just, man, it explodes. Heavy, jamming, all right? Just kick-ass grooves. Amazing. All right, then over on side 3, you got Mean Mistreater, another kind of moody rocker with some great Hammond organ from Mr. Farner. Actually, not Hammond organ, a little electric piano, I believe it is. You've got Mark Says All Right, okay? Nice little jam there. Then you got the wonderful TNUC, near 12 minutes and counting. Drum solos, guitar solos, you name it. Side 4, a lengthy Into the Sun. Great song. Again, heavy grooves. All right? Just get you on your feet, playing air guitar and moving about. You know, it's a raw album. It's not the best produced live album ever released. Raw, primal, in your face. That was Grand Funk Live. Okay, warts and all, it's here. crowd screaming in the background, right? Bum notes every so often, but man, you feel the energy. You feel you're right there on the floor in front of the stage, people going nuts, band going nuts in front of you. I dig it. This is like the perfect example of what an actual live album should be. All right? Record it at the gig, release it on vinyl. That's it. All right? Good stuff. Big fan of Grand Funk Railroad. All right, over to this particular one here. Of course, recorded in September 1975, the 4th and the 5th. Cobo Hall, Detroit, Michigan. All right, released to the world April 12th, 1976. Of course, Cobo Hall, a famous arena, especially in the 70s. You had so many live albums, at least recorded, parts of concerts recorded there and released. Right, just a great arena. Here we've got Seger on lead vocals, rhythm guitar, and piano. Drew Abbott, lead guitar, backing vocals. Alto Reed on sax, percussion, backing vocals. Robin Robbins on keyboards, organ, clavinet, mellotron, piano. Chris Campbell on bass guitar, backing vocals. And Charlie Allen Martin on drums and backing vocals. All right, a pretty good seller for the band. All right, a lot of great tunes on here. Kicking it off with Nutbush City Limits, all right, an old Tina Turner classic. And you go into Traveling Man, great tune. All right, Beautiful Loser, a perennial favorite, big hit for the band. Okay, probably my favorite version of Beautiful Loser from here. Jody Girl, the mellow Jody Girl, all right. Or on side 2, you got I've Been Working, Van Morrison classic. Working. Killer version on here. This band could really cook. Then you've got The Haunting, Turn the Page, with that like far-reaching saxophone, and I believe that the actual single that did so well for the band was actually this version from this album. Great version. UMC, Upper Middle Class, Bo Diddley, the funky, moving, rocking and rolling Bo Diddley. Love that. In the hands of the Silver Bullet Band. Woo! Good stuff. Rambling Gambling Man over on side 3. Heavy music. Then we're going to go down to Catmandu, another great version of that tune. Looking Back on side 4. Get Out of Denver and Let It Rock. 8 minutes and change. So you got a handful of cover tunes on here, all done really well by Bob and the band. So we're in round 2. We got all of these killer live albums that kind of blew away their competition, in some cases squeaked by their competition. I would say that there weren't that many really close battles in round 1. Yeah, there were some, but for the most part, it was like, night and day. Like if you were looking at 100% of all the total votes, you would usually be 70-30, 60-40. Very rarely did we see like 55-50, 55-45 or something like that. There were some, but for the most part, it was clear winners all the way. But now we're in round 2. Now it's like almost everybody who I've seen posting comments here on YouTube or on the Facebook page is like, "Oh my God, Pete, some of these choices are so hard." And we've had a couple early blowouts. It's to be expected, but I've got a couple that are like neck and neck, and I'm extremely surprised about. Okay, granted, we're only a couple days into this, so I think the first 2 videos, the voting will close, I think tomorrow or Sunday, actually. I think Sunday, because we started this on Monday. So I've seen a couple surprises already. All right, again, we're not done yet. So if you haven't voted for any of these, we've got the whole week's worth. Go out and vote, okay? Because I don't keep counting the votes forever. So after 6 days, once a video goes live, after 6 days, that's it. I stop counting. All right, the winner goes on to the next bracket. So here we go. My choice here. I dig them both a lot, but I've got a much greater allegiance to this album and this band. I am a huge Grand Funk Railroad fan. Have been for a long time. And I just think, like I said earlier, I think this is, when you look up a live rock album in the dictionary, this should come up, okay? Because it's basically what you heard there that night, right? And there have been don't get me wrong, there have been a ton of amazing live records that have been obviously touched up in the studios and made to sound even better. And I love all those ones. We don't need to talk about which ones we're talking about here, right? I love them all. But a true live album, okay, in every essence, okay, every step of the way, in my opinion, is this one. This is one of the best pure, unadulterated live albums you're ever going to hear. Okay, it's loud, it's raucous, it's heavy, it's raw, it's primal, it's thrilling. It's just, man, it's just a young band in front of a screaming audience wanting to take over the world. All right, that gets my vote. All right, this is an 11th round KO for Grand Funk Railroad. Okay, Silver Bullet Band put up a really, really good fight. This is really good. But in the end, for me, it's going to be this one. So, but you guys, you're the vote that matters, not what I'm saying here. So in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little white circle with a letter I in it. Click on that. Vote for either Grand Funk Railroad, Bob Seger, and the Silver Bullet Band. Go on our Facebook page. Vote over there. The winner after 6 days will move on to round 2. Is it going to be Bob Seger? Is it going to be Grand Funk Railroad? We'll see. We shall see. Right now, the voting on the Facebook page is like neck and neck. I think the last time I looked, which is about an hour ago, it was separated by like 3 votes or 6 votes, something like that. It was just really, really tight. So we'll see how this one goes. So anyway, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned. We got another one coming up later today. A tough one. Really, for me, is a really, really tough one. So stay tuned for that. We got more stuff coming up this weekend. We've got questions and answers tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss that. We'll be live here on YouTube for roughly 30, 40 minutes, answering some of your questions, having some general chit-chat, that sort of thing. Coming up next week, more classic live album wars. Steve Keeler's going to be in the house next week. All right, Steve Keeler's going to join us for a bunch of these. That should be loads of fun. We haven't been to Rock Fantasy and seen Steve in a while, so really psyched to go back there. We're going to do some top 10 songs as well. I've also got a top 10 songs for Elton John, hopefully coming up this weekend. Still working on that and all sorts of good stuff. Mike Antonelli and I are planning this epic classic jazz program for you, kind of the history of classic jazz pre the electric period. So that we're working on that. That's going to hopefully happen sometime over the next couple of weeks. So you see a lot of stuff going on. So we'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.